Hey guys, bear market strategy conversations. That's what we're doing in this video today. So I want to go over multiple ways that I plan on making and setting myself up to make significant wealth in the next bear market. To clarify, we are technically in a bear market right now based off of metrics of pretty much everything's under the 2 and 300-day EMAs. We've just seen a lot of things get slashed. I get it. I personally think we're going to have a big leg up in the next 2 to 4 months. My opinion. This could be the start of the big bear, these 6 to 18 months of wastelands. I don't think so, but we got to keep that open to that's possibility. But I'm talking for whenever that happens or whenever I concede in believing that that's there for me, I'm going to start doing these things. And I've got a list of a couple different strategies I'm going to touch upon today. And if you're interested in more details about any of these, just in general, or how I plan on making use of them, put comments down below and I'll do more videos about what my more specific strategies are for these. Because I'm going to be talking about everything from swing trading, airdrops and farming, staking, liquidity pools, my strategy for spot buying, macro large caps versus smaller caps, deep hit and DeFi projects, and risk aversion. So these will be common topics in the bear market because I'm still going to be here making videos with you guys. So if any of this is interesting to you or you've been here several times, please do press the like and subscribe button. Keep yourself updated on all the mumble jumble that I talk about. And let's dive right into strategies I have in mind for the bear market. So quick clarification, aside from not financial advice, nothing here ever will be. Do your own research. You can lose all your money in crypto, which true, so don't do it. Protect your assets. But like I kind of directly said, I don't plan on starting this yet. I've got my backup plan if alt season never actually occurs to start around the beginning of February. I have a whole video on this one. I'll probably talk about it more, but I'm not starting this stuff yet. But I am keeping an eye on the concepts of which crypto I'm going to buy, when, my prices I'm interested in, and what I'm going to do with each of them. So first thing I'm going to do in the bear market is I'm going to set up little teeny tiny weekly buys of Bitcoin and quant, right? I already have it set up for quant. I actually don't own any Bitcoin moment, but those are the two that I see as long-term. There are several other crypto to be good long-term plays, right? Chainlink, XRP, Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, a bunch of them that I think would do well. But these are the two that I chose. And I want to emphasize too, I'm keeping the amount of crypto that I own smaller, at least in terms of the amount that I want to hold for a long period of time in my hodling bags. Because throughout this cycle and what I was in from the previous cycle, I've learned a few things. I hope you have too. Otherwise, what the fuck have you been doing? We've got to grow with everything, right? I've learned the large macro caps, the ones I think I want to keep long term, buy those. I'm going to be buying those in larger bulks, being more picky on what price, and fixate more so just on a few. Right? So small weekly buys of Bitcoin and quant, and I'm going to keep an eye on my other ones I'm going to hodl. Likely candidates is HBAR, Aerodrome, Linea, BitTensor, Tau, Solana. And the reason why I'm saying possible candidates is I don't know which ones necessarily I'm going to get. They're all good crypto in my mind. I could see all of them being good long-term plays. I just don't know how far each of them is going to drop in the depth of the bear or when I see an opportunity for them versus all the other stuff that's going to get built in on chain for each of these, how high I think they're going to go. So that is all going to play factors of which one or realistically 2 or 3 I'm going to choose. And I'm just going to fixate on buying those as my main spot bags. So I just want to have less hodling coins and keep them only large. I'll get in a little bit more details as to why and what I would do with the smaller cap coins in a little bit. With that little list that I gave you, realize I fixated on layer ones and dexes. I personally feel those are the safest because they're what has a bunch of other dApps and companies and on-chain utility built on top of them. So it's not just like one-off. Like Solana, you buy a meme, you probably just help Solana out, right? We've got Render on Solana. We got a bunch of different crypto that are on the Solana ecosystem. So when they do well, Solana stays afloat and it does well, which is why I like these large layer ones and dexes, because when they get used and they have real utility with corporations and everything coming behind it, they're the ones that's going to last. At least that's where I'm willing to bet my money on. I want to keep mostly to the large caps during the bear market, and I'll buy micro caps or smaller cap coins closer to time if there's going to be another alt season. I'm not sure about that, or definitely not the way that we've perceived them in the past. But also for swing trading. Definitely I'll use small coins for swing trading. The reason why I don't want to hodl the micro caps anymore, me personally, is our large caps, the ones that I bought in the bear market, those are the ones that are still afloat. My HBAR, I'm still profiting in, for example, because I bought it back when it was down to like 4 cents and 6 cents. Large caps are still ahead of their bear market lows. Our micro caps, most of those have hit bear market lows or under a couple of times in the last 2 years, which tells me there was plenty of buying opportunities and options for them. And I think that's only going to be more exaggerated over time as more utility comes in. I think the larger caps are going to separate themselves a little bit more. And I'm not as confident we're going to have those little mini bursts and narratives of micro cap alt seasons. So I'm not going to be buying them in the bear market because I'm very confident I'll get opportunities to buy them later. And if I don't, then I'm also okay because I'm into the crypto that I have more conviction in for being long term. I'll definitely do one or two little high risk plays because I do have a little bit of a gambling nature in me. Like I'm keeping my eye on for sure about Supra, which is not at all a safe bet in my opinion, but it's a layer one with a good backing up team and a nice community behind it. But I'd have no faith. I can't sit here and tell you I'm confident it's going to be here in 5 years. But I might take a small bet on that one. But that would be like one of them. Again, my thought patterns. Swing trades. I love swing trades. It's small little amounts, 15 to 30% at a time. This shit adds up. I personally have been really happy with the way my swing trades have gone this cycle. I've used everything from Alluvium when it was much higher price swing trading. I've used Turbo. I used Moonwell. Actually, all those I've used several times. And when I get little 30% bumps everywhere from twice a week to every 3 weeks was really nice. And I just found it pattern based. For example, I look for patterns, right? Technical analysis helps. It's great. It definitely has its purpose in time. But when I'm doing swing trades, I personally just look for patterns of where things go. XRP, for example, kept going between this 8 to 11% range every week and a half. It was great. Buy it low, let it go up 8%, sell it. It will go down low to 8%, buy it, and did that several times. It has gone down. I got out of XRP 2 or 3 months ago. I stopped doing the swing trade, but it worked really well for me. Same examples with like Turbo. I like this method. And as I see patterns, that's where I'll pick the crypto. This could be large caps. This could be small caps for me in bear markets. As long as I see a consistent pattern up and down in really an 8 to 30% range, I'm more than willing to hop in there. I'll be a little picky on which crypto it is just in case I get stuck with it. Let's use the XRP example. If I was buying between like $2.80 and $3 and then it drops down to 80 cents or something ridiculous, at least then I'm not scared about what I own. I know it's going to be a good long-term crypto. So the worst case, I'm still okay. So there's a little bit of strategy involved with it other than looking for patterns, but that is the main one. And it's not too difficult. It just takes a little time to recognize something. Staking and liquidity pools. I will be talking a lot about that down the road. Always want to be a little careful in the bear market in case anyone just kind of gave me a little side eye on this one. Liquidity pool specifically is a little risky in the bear market. I really feel like I should point this out because it's all based on liquidity. With there being a lot more stable coins out, liquidity should stay higher, a lot better and longer. But still want to keep an eye. If you don't know much about liquidity pools, do your own research, seriously. But I'll be doing more videos about this over time. But I've said this a couple times before. Aerodrome specifically has done very well for me on liquidity pools. I've just paired it with USDC and let them go up and makes me free money from it. I'll be doing this a lot, or at least I plan to. And I plan on using two ecosystems. I plan on using Base and Linea. This could change, right? Again, this is all tentative. I'm always up to changing my mind if it is for a good logical reason. But the reason why I like Base and Linea is, I guess, twofold. One, those are two layer twos that I'm more confident than any of the other like 100 Ethereum layer twos that are out there that they're going to stay. The fact that they're backed up by Coinbase and then Joe Lupin, respectively, I've got no concerns about them lasting. That's thing one. They're going to have deep liquidity because of it. So I guess that's two. Third thing, I'm going to be looking a lot into airdrops and farming these. And if you know anything about farming airdrops, the short way that you do it, the short description, is you just hop on the ecosystem and you use it. So if I'm on Base and constantly using airdrome finance, buying, selling, trading, lending, staking, etc., when Base does airdrops, which they're definitely known to do, and they're talking about doing it for their new Base token, I'm much more likely to get free crypto and get an airdrop from it. So if I'm going to be staking and doing liquidity pools anyway and interacting on DeFi protocols, I might as well do it on two of the chains that I trust the most and that I know routinely do airdrops to reward me for investing my money with them anyway. Linea is very open about doing a lot of airdrops. They already have, and they plan on doing more for several of their tokens. And that leads into another strategy I plan on doing in the bear market, which is farming the shit out of airdrops. And if you guys don't know what farming is, it's pretty much you hop on an ecosystem, you do things, and they reward you with free crypto for doing it, exploring, and using them. It's how I first found about Foxy in the first place. I think it's a great method to, one, bring down the average of that you own, to discover new crypto. A lot of them are going to be crap, I'll be honest, but you can always sell that crap for a couple dollars to invest into, right? And I'll be doing that frequently. And I will definitely keep you guys up to date about which ones I'm trying to farm, why I'm doing it, and all of that. DPIN projects. I haven't dabbled in this in a little while, but I do like DPIN. What I mean is there's several different ways of doing this. I like buying little things that gives me recurring crypto. Demo was one that I've used for a while. I've recently stopped it because they started requiring a subscription base and I just wasn't interested into it. But I was making about $8 to $15 a week just by driving my car. I don't remember what it was, things like $200 for a little device I put in the car. And as long as I drive it once a week, I get a percentage of this demo that is released every week directly into my wallet. Cool. I just had consistent money. I made my money back in like a month and a half. Demo was worth a little bit more at the time, the demo coin. And then I just started converting every week the profits I made from demo into my other crypto. This did me very well because it was all free money essentially at a certain point, like maybe 6 to 8 weeks into it. And I'll be looking for more things like that. I've recently seen a DPIN toothbrush that you can earn crypto by brushing your teeth and having it connected to the app. Now, I haven't looked too much into that one yet, but my buddy had one that does weather systems. You put it outside, it monitors rainwater and weather temperature, and you get rewarded with a little bit of crypto. You're not going to get rich from this method, right? But it's a mild, passive way of making in money. And in the last year, I probably made at least $1,000 from this little demo thing just for driving my car, which was already doing anyway. And if you put $1,000 of this little demo token or fill in whatever DPIN project, and you put it into something that you trust and that goes up 5x, that 1,000 now turn into $5,000 in a year, and you only paid 200. It doesn't always work that well, but do your own research. I've had pretty good luck with it, and I'll be looking for more DPIN projects like that. So in short, guys, that's what I plan on doing, right? I'm putting weekly buys into Bitcoin and quant, and if I get a third long-term play that I really want to hold, I'll do that as well. I don't want to go any more than 3 on that one. I'll be picking just 2 to 4 large caps that I'm going to buy and willing to hodl. So when I say long-term Bitcoin and quant, 5-10 years, I don't care. I'll go until I feel like it's time to sell them for whatever life purposes I have at that time. The other macro coins, I'm willing to buy and hodl for 1 to 4 years. Wait until they get up a little bit, but I'll sell them much sooner and be more willing to trade them for pumps and profit taking and everything throughout time. And I'm going to pretty much not buy any micro caps during the bear market unless I see a pattern for a swing trade or I find like buy the rumor events. And then just to get a quick buck, buy in and get the hell out. I'll be talking a little bit deep in and staking, liquidity pools. And I'm curious, guys, have you thought about or used any of these methods in the past? Have you used any of them this cycle? Are you interested in hearing more about my specific strategies for these? Because I know I blew through these pretty damn quickly. Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate your time and spending it with me. Let's do it again soon. Peace.